Hello and welcome to the podcast that explores the heartlands, entertainment industries. I'm Brian.
I'm Kelly.
And we're here with a return guest from long ago, from the years of yore.
Years beyond
the oldie Okie show days.
Ago.
Except last time you were representing Dead Center Film Festival, and you have
never heard of it. What?
Moved on to the awesome Rodeo Cinema.
Rodeo Cinema.
So this is Kim Haywood. Welcome back to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me back.
The last time you were on Okie show, we were in a totally different spot.
I did not yet exist.
Kelly,
she wasn't born.
She had not been birthed.
No.
Yeah.
Conceived.
Into the world of podcastness. So it's good to have you back on.
It's great to be here. And this is fancy.
I'm saying. So Kim, tell us about Rodeo Cinema, because this is kind of a new thing.
Exciting thing.
It's very new. Yes. And I did, which we can go through this later and we can go through it now, whatever you want. But Rodeo Cinema, we are an independent art house theater located in Stockyards City. Most people are familiar with Stockyards City, just south of the river on I-40. A lot of people know it for Cattleman's.
Cattleman's?
Yes.
A lot of people know it for if you need to buy a pair of boots or a hat. That is the place to go for surezies. But there's also a lot of other things happening in Stockyards. So there's some really great boutiques happening there. And Rodeo Cinema is actually the sister theater to Circle Cinema in Tulsa. Some might be familiar. Yeah. So we're their sister. So, and they are 15 years old, and they are this just iconic, perfect, beautiful cultural center in Tulsa for independent film and events and things like that. So we're their sister. We opened up at the end of August. And so we've been, what is this, December? Or February, March, whatever this is. So we've been here for a couple. It's future past. So yeah, we've been open a couple of months, and we, like Circle Cinema, are a nonprofit, which I think some people think is a little bit different when you think of a movie theater.
Yeah.
And so really what that means for us, and I even brought some show and tells for that. Some membership forms.
Goodies.
Yeah, some goodies. So what that really means is, when you go to a theater, obviously you're buying a ticket and concessions and things like that. But at Rodeo, we want to provide experiences around films, which means we want to have filmmakers come in, and we want to have events and panels and discussions. And all those things are things that you just can't really pay for through concessions and box office. And so because we're a nonprofit, we can accept donations. We have a membership program.
Cool.
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah, let me pass out this
Thank
information.
you.
I'm like a teacher. Here, you'll be graded later. Membership information. And we have donors and sponsors and things like that. So again, it's just a way to make experiences around film. But otherwise, we're open 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We never close.
Wow.
We're always open. Yeah.
Wow.
So like any other movie theater, all first run independents. We also do love our Oklahoma filmmakers. And so Mickey Reese, for example, has come in with Strike Dear Mistress. We had a great screening for that. We have a really awesome partnership with PBS and ITVS for the Indie Pop-Up series. And we have lots of other fun things in store. I can talk about it now because I won't shut up if you won't let me, but I love to hear myself talk.
So I'm actually kind of curious about like the history of how this particular Rodeo Cinema came to be, because it's associated with Circle Cinema.
Correct.
So are there Rodeo Cinemas elsewhere, or is this the only Rodeo Cinema?
This is the only Rodeo Cinema. So the reason we named it Rodeo Cinema, one, it's in the Stockyards.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Perfect.
But also the building that we're in is an actual movie theater from 1924. That's when it was built. That's so cool. And it was built and called the Rodeo Theater.
Oh.
And so the Rodeo Opry has actually been performing out of that theater since 2004, I think. And so they're the Rodeo Opry. It was in the original Rodeo Theater, and so it made sense that we were Rodeo Cinema.
Embracing the history.
Is Rodeo Opry still in operation?
They are,
in the building?
So they actually perform there still every Saturday night. So we have movies all the time, 7 days a week, again, except for Saturday evenings. But then sometimes we do have like a 10 o'clock or 10:30 screening on Saturday nights. So, but yeah, they're there every Saturday night. So it's fun too, because that's something else that makes us different, is that we're sort of this multi-purpose, multi-functional space, which was kind of interesting when we were kind of tweaking and modifying the building a little bit to make it back into a theater, is we had to consider that there was another group there doing something totally different that wasn't a movie. So even, our screen is motorized. And so it kind of rolls up and rolls out of the way. And behind it's this entire, stage with instruments and things like that. We want to make sure our seating worked for them and our lighting worked for them. And it's really lovely. It's come together really well. And it's a very cozy and intimate and fun space to be.
I've been to the Rodeo Opry a couple of times, and first of all, if you've never been down to the stockyards,
For shame. Go there.
It's just so darn cool because there is kind of like a very classic vibe, like you've kind of gone back in time.
Oh, for sure. It's like Guthrie a little bit.
Yeah.
Because even the buildings
the look of it
feel very not Wild West, but I think the original area is from 1910 is when the stockyards began and all those buildings started coming up. And so the buildings are all from that era. You see cowboys walking down the street.
Yeah.
They have Longhorn that they release down the street for their stampedes a couple times a year. I mean, so there's literally cows walking down the street.
And they have a bunch of vets, veterinarian shops,
vets. There's a rattlesnake museum.
But it's for weird, as I say, it's all for crazy, farm animals. So you see, I bring my dog in and it's there's cows.
There's cows. Yeah. A horse or a llama or something. Yeah, it's all there.
So if your llama is feeling ailed, you can...
Stockyard City.
You can take your llama in to the vet.
And go watch a movie.
Go have some steak at Cattleman's.
Yeah.
Yeah, just to make a whole night of the whole stockyards situation.
That's exactly.
And they actually do auctioning and stuff down in the stockyards too.
It's one of the I think if it's not the biggest, it's one of the biggest actual livestock auctions.
Yeah.
And it's Monday and Tuesday. And I've seen the auction. When we first opened up the theater, the woman, Kelly Payne, who runs the Main Street and the Stockyards, took me for a little tour, and it is awesome. And you can go to them too. They're open to the public.
I think I've been to at least
I should
one.
take my kids they would love it.
It is mind blowing because it's this well-oiled machine and just money is flying and it's a very cool thing to watch.
That's so cool. That's really neat that now we have something like Rodeo Cinema to kind of bring, because the audience is for
arts and culture
art films
into that.
and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I think it's really cool that you guys are bringing that to that area.
Oh, for sure. And it doesn't necessarily sound like it blends well, this idea of this Western culture, independent film. But then I was talking with someone the other day, and it really does, because you think about the nature of a cowboy in the West. It was sort of everyone sort of working to help build this thing, and that's what independent film is. Independent film, the basis of it is it's made outside of a studio system, and so it's kind of everyone working together to make this film happen, and that's sort of what that history of that area represents too. So it works, I think.
That's so cool.
And I'm always right. That's so true.
So what's the ultimate goal? When you guys when you got this off the ground, where do you see this going in the next 5 years? What's the goal?
Well, we have a couple of things that we're doing. First of all, we do have this single screen in the building that was built in 1924. Which was, again, originally a movie theater for silent films. But our goal is we actually are building 2 new screens. So it's actually half a block away, which will be kind of fun because it will kind of add to that whole, when you go down to the stockyards, watch a movie, you can kind of wander and experience it. But the great thing about having 3 screens is it will allow us to have more of these films that will oftentimes jump over Oklahoma City for different markets because we don't have that, 7-day-a-week movie theater. And so people that we've screened some films, one we did a few months ago called Free Solo, it was playing in Dallas and in Tulsa. And there's some people saying, oh my gosh, we didn't know it was playing here. We're going to drive elsewhere to go see it.
Oh, wow. So that brings that here.
But now, exactly. And so now that when we have 3 screens, we'll just be able to bring in more films and do more things. So that's
awesome.
That's one of the things we want to do. With our existing theater, kind of to bring it full circle in terms of the experience, because it was a silent theater and they had this organ and live music. We actually do have an organ that currently lives in Tulsa. It's a Wurlitzer. It was pulled out of the old Orpheum Theater in Tulsa before it was destroyed. And it is going to make its home at Rodeo in about a year and a half. We're working with an organization to figure out the pipe structure, which is very complicated.
Yeah.
And so
those organs of old,
they're incredible.
Part of the building.
It is. Oh yeah. And you just, the way, and it's, I know nothing about music, but just the way it's supposed to be done is
the
very,
tuning and all of that.
All of that
complex.
stuff is very complex. And so there's an organization that is helping us to figure out what that structure is going to look like, to hang the pipes and everything that goes with it. And so in about a year and a half, we'll actually have an actual theater organ. So we can do silent films. And we can do events with music and things like that. So,
that is cool.
It is cool. It's very, very cool. And I think our goal with everything that we're doing with the new screens and the organ, and even the programs that we want to do is we want to become this cultural hub for independent film and for culture. And I think that's what Circle has done so well is they really are, again, they're iconic in Tulsa. Like when people think of, community and cinema, they think of Circle Cinema and the people they bring in and the events they host. We want to become that as well. And that's not to say that awesome film isn't already happening in Oklahoma City.
Oh, it definitely is. Yeah.
But it's just another layer to it. And I think that's cool.
And more exposure for it.
More exposure, exactly.
Just more exposure for it, which is excellent.
Because our goal, I think, for all the theaters and everyone who's doing film is our goal is to get people off their couches.
Totally.
Guilty of being in my PJs on my laptop and watching Netflix or whatever. Yeah. But we want to get people back out to movie theaters, because when you're at a theater watching a film, you forget how great it is to experience a film with other people in the room.
It's so great.
And to laugh at the same scenes and to cry or just to have this room filled with emotion. And then you have the extra layer of having someone there to talk about the film or, have a discussion or something afterwards. It's cool. Yeah. I like it.
Well, and that's the thing that like for like film professionals, like we're always having that conversation of like, where's the industry taking us? Like, where's the distribution side taking us? Because we do see that binge model really taking over. Yeah. Like it's even bleeding into our event style movies like the Avengers and like the Marvel Cinematic Universe, where our audiences want to see arcs and all this kind of stuff. So it is kind of that question of like, how do we get people back into the theater without all of the CGI and explosions and all that kind of stuff? And like, that seems to be what this is doing.
Exactly. And what I think people outside of the industry don't realize is that there is sort of this structure to the release of films. And it really does start theatrically, whether it's in a theater or at a film festival or something like that. Like that's where audiences find your film. And then later it can go to another level of people with online or something like that. But it really does start with having people in front of a screen, with filmmakers, with someone falling in love with the film, falling in love with the filmmakers, talking about it, spreading that word. I mean, that is such a powerful, awesome, fun experience. And it's just, again, not something you really can get when you're just watching something at home by yourself, lonely. Yeah. Don't be lonely. Come to the Rodeo Cinema and watch a movie with us.
There really is. I feel like it's kind of it's becoming such a rarer, I'm not going to say rare because like we do still have these havens for the experience of theater.
I agree. Yeah.
But like people, you can watch stuff at home. Like I was talking about earlier about how I've been binge watching Breaking Bad again for the first time in a couple of years, but I'm watching it with someone, with my wife, and she's never seen it before. And there's something about watching it with somebody and not just like
sharing the
experience of like the art that we love.
Yeah.
Because then it brings up conversation. You guys talk about it and you come at it from different perspectives and levels. And that's what makes it so much fun to revisit is because you now have this person that you can talk about it with. Yeah. So.
And that's the like, man, I love Breaking Bad. I'm going to go on a Breaking Bad rabbit trail.
1 minute for Breaking Bad. Brian needs 1 minute. Go.
No, because like I love being able to talk about stuff and discuss things, not in that annoying, pretentious way, but just like I love philosophizing about film and music and all that kind of stuff, because I feel like essentially that's what art is for, is to start conversations.
It causes you have to figure out the emotion it's creating in you, and then ingest that and then think about it, and totally. It's fun.
Which is why I love that you guys have these panel discussions and stuff.
Yes.
And you have, what kind of guests do you guys have come out to Rodeo?
So obviously we want the filmmakers there. So Mickey Reese with his cast and crew presented his film. We had a couple of lovely filmmakers actually come all the way from Vancouver.
Whoa! Wow.
They made a documentary about Bryant Reeves, also known as Big Country.
For
Big
those Country?
Oklahoma State fans.
Big Country
Bryant Reeves. And they were awesome. But they wanted to come down from Vancouver because they knew this was his home, Oklahoma, and they wanted to present it. We've had different people come in, again, with that PBS series. The whole goal is to find people who are somehow connected to that. So in January, which it's going to be too late for these people watching this, but in January, too bad, suck it. We have a film called Rumble. The natives who, or the the Indians Who Rock the World. It's about Native musicians in various genres.
Oh, wow.
And so we're working on getting Native musicians here in Oklahoma to
Which
kind
there
of talk
are
about.
quite a, and Native filmmakers, musicians, really cool people.
I'm kind of overwhelmed with the list right now.
Yeah.
People I'm trying to like fit into this coming discussion.
Really neat.
But, you know, talking about like, and people love that. Like people really do want to hear from people who are, you know, connected with films or connected with topics. It just makes it more special. And coming from Dead Center, which I do know what Dead Center is. I lied earlier. I've heard of it. Coming from Dead Center, that's something that I remember, you know, you spend so much time like programming films and thinking, God, I hope people like this film. And then the festival comes and people are walking out of a screening and they all gather outside the theater and they talk about it.
Yeah.
It is
That's
so,
exactly.
I love that feeling. And I love, it's just because it takes it to a different level. And that's something that we're doing at Rodeo. And I've had we have a lovely lobby in the theater and kind of created for that place of discussion. And you walk out and the screening has let out and people are sitting or standing or just talking about what they saw. And that's the coolest thing.
That is cool. That's like, it's very much like after a play, you know, a lot of people come out into the atrium and sit and get their drink for, you know, intermission and talk about what's going on and then go back in and watch.
Yeah,
that feeling.
Exactly.
Now, okay, I did see that you're doing Rocky Horror coming up.
We are.
Just because I'm a theater girl and I want to dress up and go see that show.
Good.
So that's something that everyone should be looking for. That's very exciting.
Yes, and we'll do more of that. So we are
Live.
Circle also does a lot of, and we'll start this as well, just traditions. And so we want to create a tradition like they do with Rocky Horror Picture Show.
Nice.
Now, one would assume that Rocky Horror would be around Halloween. No. Nope, not it.
Right.
Festivus for the rest of us, I guess.
Okay.
So we're actually doing it, or we did it, the last week of December. Yes. Future past, which will be something we do. So the end of December, we'll do Rocky Horror. It's full on participation mode.
Yes.
Rocky Horror. So
splash zone.
We will have.
I want to traumatize my husband with it.
With no water. That's my only caveat. Or flames.
Oh, yeah.
We have an alternative to flames, but we'll have little prop kits that people can buy for like $5.
The paper and the
just me making toast all night.
Yes.
Just like I have 2 toast. More toast. Yeah. So it's all that participation stuff. And so. And next year we want to do more of those things and just kind of create again. Just that's the fun stuff too. Like that's the fun thing about movies.
That's something that get me out. Like I'm busy and have 3 kids, so it's hard for me to get out and do things often. But if there's a consistent thing that I'm like, I'm going to do that this year.
I'm going to do that.
I'm getting out on that night. You know, that's so fun. And for those interactive date night things, that's really cool.
Specials.
Burning question that I'm sure everyone listening is wondering. When are y'all screening The Room? Speaking of interactive. The best, worst movie
worst movie ever made.
I'm working on something. How about that?
Okay.
Yes. Again, going back to, I mean, you can screen The Room or ...
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Oh man, I want to see that. I saw that movie for the first time with a group of friends, and I did it right because I read the Disaster Artist. I read the book.
Okay.
Oh.
Then we saw The Room with our group of friends, and it was fantastically terrible. Then we actually went to go see the Disaster Artist.
Yeah.
Read the book before you go see the Disaster Artist because it changes the way you see that movie.
Does it? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I can't go back and do that now, but I'll trust you.
It's a good book.
Yeah. I have not read the book. I need to read
the
the
movie's not so good.
Well,
the Disaster Artist has its merits. I'm not going to say it's a bad movie.
Well,
it has its merits.
And here's why you can't say it's, my theory. Even a bad movie, quote fingers.
Yeah.
If you are still thinking about it, and talking about it,
cult following,
is that really bad? Because a bad movie,
you forget about, and let go.
What's that movie called? I don't know. A bad good movie
becomes a cult classic.
Yeah, it's like Rocky Horror.
It's like
The Room.
or Pink Flamingos, that one that everyone they're like, oh, it's terrible.
Oh yeah,
horrifying movie, and then everyone people
what's that Trolls movie? It's like they're eating her, and next they're gonna eat me. What movie is that?
It's not Troll Hunter.
I don't know.
No, it's something, but it's another fantastically terrible movie.
Yeah.
On that note, do you guys plan on screening any like kind of shitty B movies that would be fun to watch in a theater?
Oh, totally. Yeah,
Okay.
because so obviously we do first run independence, but a lot of that's what a lot of people want, is they want kind of like that Rocky Horror, that Room. Mandy is a film that came out recently that we screened.
Nicolas Cage being a good actor.
Yes.
How did I miss it?
I don't know, man.
Nicolas
we might do it
Cage
again.
confuses
But
me.
anyway, I mean, that's really what people want. Like, people love that cult classic. And also, that is really what people have come to kind of identify Circle as, is kind of having that alternative culture kind of film. And so we'll do that as well. I mean, our goal, again, is to do every kind of cinema, make experiences out of it whenever possible, but just, and also offer something for everyone. You know, I think our first year is really going to be us figuring out who our audience is. I mean, we kind of have an idea, but then once we really get a handle on that,
it's going to change and grow.
We'll change and grow, and just want to make sure that we are consistent and offer something to the masses.
So where does Rodeo Cinema fit into the Oklahoma film industry, kind of as a whole?
As a whole, well, I think, again, going back to like Mickey Reese and being an outlet for Oklahoma filmmakers, like a lot of theaters here are, I think that will kind of be a home for us. We have talked, and we are planning on doing some things with the Oklahoma Film Music Office. Like, they have some panel series and talks, and we've have in discussions with them about doing some things, but just kind of adding a different location or venue for these artists to be able to bring back their works. There was a festival recently that the Oklahoma Film Society guys did, where they brought back some of these Oklahoma films that played this past year. And so, you know, I think it's awesome because it gives them another venue for their films to be shown. But also, we can do that too. You know, we can do some things throughout the year. I've had someone that I've talked to about doing, you know, lots of cast and crew screenings and rentals and things like that. So I think, again, it just offers a different level to that, to what's already existing here in terms of venues for these films.
Well, and that's that's a really cool thing to work on a project and to actually see it on a big screen.
Totally different. Yeah.
It's a very different
hear
vibe.
it and hear it through those speakers. You
And
know?
hear the audience reaction to it, and
not react where they should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's a humbling experience sometimes.
Yes.
Like, oh, they weren't supposed to laugh at that. That was supposed to be a sad moment.
They're supposed to be crying at this point. Oh, well, yeah.
That kind of reminds me of The Room.
Right.
When it was like
laughing at all the wrong spots.
oh yeah,
this is
oh gosh,
horrible.
oh it's so painful. Doesn't he like shoot himself in the head and then like writhe around holding his groin or something? I can't remember.
Yes.
Is that a thing that happens?
Well, he's got like this is like blood. Like it's he keeps not dying, and it lasts so long. And he
It's like a weird
it's like a
SNL
weird
sketch.
I just
scene.
won't
And it
die.
is a lot of like thrashing and thriving and like you know,
Like what you do when you
yeah,
shock
right,
yourself.
Yeah.
but slower.
Right.
Okay.
So it's uncomfortable. Like it's like someone who I would imagine really dying wouldn't be like, whoa, I'm still talking.
Still hurts.
That was the only thing about The Disaster Artist, the movie, that was kind of like, ooh, this is painful. When everyone is laughing hysterically,
I know.
and Tommy
God, that
Wiseau is
hurts.
watching and like crying, and like, oh, I get it, ooh.
Yeah, that hurts. That's hard. That's hard.
But going back to this,
Yes. So let's go for the young filmmakers here who have a film they want to get up and on the screens.
Yes.
What could they do? How could they contact you, or where should they start with this process?
Well,
do they go through the film festival first, or you know what I mean?
As a former film festival lady,
Yes,
I do recommend always starting the film festival. If you have a
there's
film.
a technical purpose for that.
There is
though.
a very technical purpose in that a lot of film festivals will not accept films if they have previously shown theatrically or they're available
been screened.
online.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. So
They
that is,
really
and
like
that's
world premieres.
Yes, they really like world premieres or local premieres or regional premieres. So that's just something to keep in mind as a filmmaker. Like if you like, oh great, you have this movie, let's go to Rodeo and
Show it.
Yeah,
Wait.
hold up.
Yeah.
Like, have you submitted to film festivals? Like, what's your plan?
Right.
If you've done that and you're like, okay, I've done my festival run and I want to have another screening, great. Contact me, website, rodeocinema.org. We'll hook you up.
Sweet.
If that's something you're not interested in, if festivals are not something you're interested in, still contact me, rodeocinema.org.
because maybe you just want to show your family.
Yeah,
and that's
exactly.
it.
Yeah.
See family. I did one thing.
See, mom and dad, that film degree
Yeah.
paid for.
Came into
Boom.
Paid off, question mark. Yeah.
Well, and if somebody wanted to do like a cast and crew screening of their movie
Yes.
at Rodeo,
Yes.
like, and the rate's really not that bad, right?
It's not that bad, and we're a nonprofit, so obviously all that goes back to us. But no, we've got obviously the rates online for Screen One. We have when we have those other 2 screens, we'll have those available too. But yeah, we want that. Like, even if someone has like, test footage or whatever, if they want to come in the mornings and see their stuff on the big screen, great, talk to me. Let's do that. So
that'd be cool.
Yeah, we just want to make it as available as possible. And also, thinking about their needs and what do they need. If there's anyone out there that wants to shoot me some ideas, how we can be more available to the film community here, hit me up. I'm here.
Very
I'm here
cool.
to listen and hear. Yeah.
Let's touch on this on the membership opportunities that you guys have, because you got some really cool stuff here, and I love your layout here. You
I know, this
basic
is fancy.
Director, producer, mogul, patron, and benefactor.
Yes.
So
I someday hope to
this
be
is
a
how people
benefactor.
can actually get involved themselves with Rodeo Cinema, right?
Exactly. So membership program, again, everything, concessions and box office. That's great. But to do these other programs we want to do, and there are some education programs that we're working on for the future as well. So to fund those things, we do rely on the kindness of others. And so one of the ways that people can participate is to become a member. The membership rate starts at $35 for those under 35, and that's a basic membership. And it goes all the way up to $5,000. And there's all these places in between. But it starts, the basic idea is that you get a member rate for all the screenings, which is $650, which is
Cheap.
like
That's
free.
awesome.
It's like free.
Awesome.
You get certain days of the week, you get free popcorn. At certain levels, you start getting free tickets and things like that. A lot of people like to give these for gifts, which is always fun. You get discounts on merchandise. We also have special events that are just for members. And so sometimes if we have, filmmakers coming in, we might have like a pre-screening event for just the members to meet those filmmakers.
Cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. And it kind of, again, it's just experiences. And being from Dead Center, that's something that I really enjoy. And people so far have been really loving our membership program.
You had me at free popcorn.
Free popcorn,
Right.
yeah.
I'm in.
Oh, well. we'll get there. We'll get there.
Here's
Not
a random
yet.
question that might actually be kind of backtracking, but I saw the 35 millimeter special and it made me think of this.
And being younger.
Well, yeah, because at Tower Theater, we like the movies that they screen are on the digital projector, but there's a actual film projector like right there, next to it.
Yeah, reel to
Do
reel.
y'all have actual real projectors or?
We don't have, we are limited in our old 1924 theater to the space that we have. And so back in the day, that projection booth did accommodate an actual film reel projector. Now we have our digital projector there. And so because of that, we don't have the room for film and reel to reel. So unfortunately we don't. However, that being said, although we cannot do film like the amazing Tower Theater.
Yeah.
Well, not yet. I can't say the Tower can do that yet. Is that right?
They will. It's Steven.
Eventually,
They'll figure it
someday,
out.
down the line.
This is in the future anyway.
Yeah, this is future.
Yeah, that's true. Future past.
Steven's got this.
There we go.
Yeah,
There we go.
By this time it's going to be happening. But we can do anything else. So Blu-rays, DVDs, VHS. We actually have a VHS.
Can I rent it out to watch my family videos just for me?
Just rent out a huge theater.
My
That'd be
family would
amazing.
love that. Like, that would be the best
You
Christmas
can.
gift. Just, hey, let's just sit down and everyone watch us.
Yeah.
You can.
That'd be a great family reunion.
That would
kind
be
of thing.
amazing.
We have a series called VHS and Chill. Sean Peel runs
I didn't realize that was you guys.
And he plays, it's Sean, our theater manager. That's his series. And he does VHS and Chill screenings all across the city. But he programs a monthly series at Rodeo as well.
Wow.
And he has gone so far as to make sure that image on the screen for VHS is the square. It is not scope.
That's awesome.
It is just
as
bone.
God intended.
And it is
pan and scan and all.
all of it. And it is grainy and it is great. So we have that. We do PowerPoints. We have Skype. So if directors ever want to Skype with us, we can get them on the screen. We could even, if you wanted to rent it out and play video games, you can play video games on the screen. I mean, we're set. We're here. We will do things in the future, which this is the future, like Oscar watch parties. We can do the Oscars. So we're doing, we're
Which
having
we
Oscars
would
and
love
Tonys.
to, podcast that.
Yeah, that would
Because
be
we
an
love
amazing
doing
thing
Oscar
to do.
watch parties.
Will you dress
alone.
up?
Of course.
Oh, I'll bring my gowns up.
Wear
Yes.
our ballroom gown.
Yes. We'll wear our
I'm going to do the
gowns.
Ellen pantsuit. That's what I'll do.
If I dressed up for an Oscar party,
wear my
I would
gown now.
definitely have to dress up like Lloyd Christmas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
An
See?
orange
The orange,
tuxedo
yeah.
with
Can I
top
get my hair
hats
did? That
and
would
a
be
cane.
nice.
That would be fun.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
That'll be perfect.
Yeah, a little bit.
So where can people go to sign up for the Rodeo Cinema membership opportunities?
So membership opportunities again are on our website which is rodeocinema.org. We are also on all the socials. Almost all the socials.
I like that.
We're on the Instagram, we're on the Twitter, and we're on the Facebook. So
Very
find
nice.
us, like us, follow us, whatever you do on those things.
What other social media platforms
there's like
are
Pinterest.
there?
I was to say, I'm too old to know now.
Yeah,
I
that's
I don't
all.
even know. It's out of control.
I can't keep track.
Yeah.
I don't know what day it is.
Friendster's
much less-
back.
I don't know.
No,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Not on Snapchat.
I just
keep up with
Snapchat
it
my
all,
mom.
man.
That's it.
Yeah,
I will say that I finally made an Instagram for my basset hound.
And it's glorious. I follow Colonel Rumpus. I do, and he is hilarious.
Colonel
What's his
Rumpus
name?
Basset Hound.
What's his name?
Colonel Rumpus.
It's the perfect
Brian.
basset hound name.
He is an old
Sweet.
fat basset hound
Oh.
named Colonel Rumpus. And his brother, the wiener dog, Sir Slinky Feet, shows up every once in a while
Yes.
on his Instagram account.
I wish you were creative. I mean, this is lame names.
I know.
God,
Jeez.
try harder.
So one more time the website because I'm having a brain fart.
Rodeocinema.org.
Rodeocinema.org.
O-R-G.
I like the org. It makes it so
non-profit-y.
yes,
Yeah.
yes,
Very non-profit-y. Yeah.
the library.
There's also volunteer opportunities that people can
There are.
pursue, right?
So, again, being nonprofit and having these events and things like that, we need people, human workforces. So on the website, rodeocinema.org, you can sign up to be a volunteer, and we need them for various capacities. So if we have an event, it'd be great to have some extra hands there to greet people and to point directions and things like that. We even have like, I guess, kind of a street team or kind of like advocates for the theater. If you want to come upstairs with me and help me do some stuff in the office, organize movie posters, happy to have you do that. So,
Dude.
yeah, anything you want to do, we will happily accept your love and time.
That is very, very cool.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome. Well, cool. Well, you guys ready for some games?
No.
No?
I need a warm up.
Actually, I was thinking I don't want to put you on the spot, Kelly.
Yeah.
So if you don't have anything, it's okay. We can move on, and I'll just trim this section out.
Oh.
But do you have a Kelly's Corner? Because you're back.
I am
Kim,
back.
I don't know if you realize, but Kelly there has had a baby.
I did,
that she's been taking
and
care of.
I am half alive due to lack of sleep.
Oh, you need to wake you up. Some sweets.
What?
I
What
love
is
this.
this?
You skipped over my bag of treats.
Okay.
Oh, I totally did.
Unboxing this. First off, this gourmet popcorn place is the bomb.
Legit.
My son loves
what's
the
it called?
popcorn from here.
So I did bring you some treats because it's not Christmas.
Oh, dude.
It's
Thank you.
Thanksgiving.
It's
Whatever. New Year's.
and Valentatrix.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this.
But no, I brought you some stuff. So I brought you popcorn.
Oh my favorite actual
Not fresh anymore. Yeah,
actual movie
popcorn.
theater popcorn.
Yeah.
This is like my favorite day ever.
Yeah. And
my
then
favorite snack ever.
And then just some local treats that you can find
Yes.
in our concessions area. So
Oh,
So
very nice.
you guys sell the
we do.
Oklahoma gourmet
so this
popcorn.
is Oklahoma Gourmet Popcorn,
Ooh.
and they're a local company. They have a store in Moore and Edmond,
Yep.
and they're delicious. And they have like a billion different flavors.
So many flavors.
We carry the sea salt caramel.
It's amazing.
And you've got the
I've got the Oreo.
which is great.
Never tried
And
Oreo.
Puppy Chow, which is my
Puppy Chow.
favorite. And then also find selection of Bedre chocolates.
Oh, wow.
So anyways,
Oh, my gosh.
This is amazing.
Just here,
Thank you.
she's had a
I want
baby.
it. I need it all.
Yeah.
I need it all.
I can confirm the puppy chow is very good.
yes,
Oh,
yeah.
yes.
Anyways,
I
that's-
love
Well,
popcorn.
thank you.
And
That is
chocolatey goodness.
fabulous.
Now
I
we
wish
can play games.
Yes.
So yes, you
The
need some
season
sugar.
of
Wake
gift
up.
giving. I know. I'm just gonna have popcorn.
Because nothing makes a great podcast
Yes,
like eating.
Yeah, yeah. Like the sound of mastication.
Well, I'll tell you, when I was pregnant, I made my husband go into movie theaters and get popcorn for me,
Oh, yeah.
and then leave. And he was very known at the theater that I went
was
to.
very known.
That they started just bagging it up and like giving.
Yeah.
And they're like, pregnant wife. Mm-hmm. I'll take
here comes
large,
the best
please.
husband ever.
That's great. That's great theater.
Yeah. So anyway,
Send them a
That's
Christmas
awesome.
card.
I hope that Lainey has that craving if and when she ever
it's the
gets
best craving. I mean,
Because if she gets that craving, then I get to partake as well.
yes, exactly. It's a happy craving.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. Let's see. Kelly's Corner. I wish I had like a happy, fun Kelly's Corner, but we just had the flu. I mean, I'm healthy now, so don't
Yeah.
worry. I'm healthy now. But
should I turn on some dramatic music?
Please do, because I will explain
music?
how this all happened and the number of times I went to the doctor's office and how I did things wrong without knowing I did things wrong and the illness. And then I'm just so happy that my husband didn't get it, because then I would have had to take care of 4 babies.
Oh gosh.
Because he's a baby.
See, this is the part
of
having babies that I could never wrap my head around, is the fact that it's just...
They're germ machines?
They're literally always
worth
sick
of disease.
and snotty and coughing and touching things. But they're so cute. It was Thanksgiving. My youngest baby, 5 months old, started getting a little cough. I questioned, is this the Oklahoma allergies I hear about, or is this something worse? Something much more malevolent. Little did you know that my 5-month-old baby could not get the flu shot yet, but I have a 5-year-old who also goes to school. He brought home type B influenza. He came down with it fast and hard. Fever spiked. It was miserable and also sweet because I got to cuddle him. And then my daughter, 3, she somehow managed to lick a cup that he had once drank from. Or he coughed in her face, or who knows how the germs spread, but they spread through the household. I protected my little baby, my 5-month-old little baby. I called the pediatrician and tried to get everyone Tamiflu, but you can't give Tamiflu unless you have the symptoms for 48 hours. And then, I gave everyone Tamiflu and it didn't work. It didn't work. And everyone got sick, and that was the end of it, and now we're fine.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Oh, wow.
So that's my Kelly's Corner.
That was an excellent Kelly's Corner.
Yeah.
I love the random, you can just find random dramatic music. I type in dramatic music into YouTube, and that's what I get.
Crushing it.
I could have gotten Harry Potter. I should have done Harry Potter. That's not Harry Potter.
That's a commercial.
That's a commercial.
That's a commercial.
Okay, so what kind of a gameage do we have?
Okay, I think we should start. I need a warm up, so I think we should start with a storytelling game. Let's just do story, die.
Okay.
You can either, would you like to be in charge of the bell? Yeah. Okay, you control when you ring the bell. We switch to the next person who has to seamlessly.
No, don't know how to hit a bell.
Let's learn how to work the bell.
I have one job.
I'm terrible at it. Fired.
We're gonna tell a story, one person at a time. When the bell rings, the next person has to completely seamlessly continue the story while hoping that it still makes sense.
Okay.
Yes.
Am I participating, or am I just ringing bell?
You can be bell master.
I want a bell. Okay,
Yeah.
So I'm going to ring this bell on y'all.
Bell master.
Okay, do it.
All right. Let's get a suggestion for something about the story.
Let's see here.
Maybe like a location.
Okay.
A car wash.
Car wash.
A car wash.
Ooh,
Okay.
Very nice.
Ooh.
Okay. Do we need anything else?
Let's see here. Let's say a car wash, and then what's a prop? Just like
Flip-flop.
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 Flip-flops.
Okay.
Car wash. Okay.
Better at this than I thought. But go on.
All right.
So Kelly, you're gonna start?
Yes.
Okay. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
I was driving down the road and I noticed bird poop all over my new van, so I turned left into Car Wash City. It looked shiny and sparkly and had that kind of foam that has all the magical colors while it washes your car. And I pulled in, checking the prices to see how much
it would cost to get this bird poo off of my beautiful car. Also, how much would it cost extra to get all the blood off the back of my car?
Because I had just murdered someone. That someone was my
bird. That's right. I murdered a bird after he shat on my car. So I decided to
take the body and bury it like you do with bodies. Birds, cats, anything really you can bury in the ground.
Especially birds. It's adding insult to injury. Birds are meant to be in the sky, not in the ground. Ha! Joke's on you, bird.
There was blood everywhere in the back of the van. I needed to cover up what I had done or my husband would know.
He would know that I murdered the bird, his favorite bird. His favorite turkey bird.
It's a turkey cockatoo.
A turkey cockatoo albatross. Eagle. From the Albanian
mobsters. It was very, very expensive bird. My husband is also in the mob. So I was cleaning out the blood in the van,
and that's when I realized that the bird that I thought was dead was not dead at all. In fact, he was alive and on the internet.
Yay! Y'all are fun. I was like,
random.
we did not get flip-flops in there at all.
I know,
And that is fine.
But you failed. Sorry.
That is not, that is,
I forgot that flip-flop was a thing. I just want to say flip-flop on the
Flip-flop.
microphone.
The mobster albatross bird.
Turkey
lovely.
cockatoo albatross.
So that was a good warm-up.
Yeah.
I like, and our bellmaster would just
I know,
killed
thank
it.
you. That was excellent.
Thank you.
Okay.
I
So what
enjoyed
else
that.
we got?
So let's play post office because it's,
Are you
it's
trying to take it
Christmas.
away from me, you afraid?
I can't decide if I should take it away from you or
Nope,
if I should just
I'm
let
good girl.
you own it.
I'm going to own
Let
it
you
too.
own the
All right.
bell. Post office is going to be it's a secret game, so someone is not in on what we're going to be doing.
Oh, that's right.
So we need
Secrets.
a secret item, which I will whisper into. Well, who wants to do the guessing? I guess we should decide that. Who wants to be the postmaster general?
And they guess?
They are the ones who do not know what the item is. I'd say maybe Brian, or would you?
I'll guess.
Okay.
You'll guess?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So
I'm going to
then
whisper
'Cause
in
I'm
Brian's
terrible at
ear.
this, so let's
Should
do it.
let's see, how should we do it? Should we have Kim leave the room and then we can get suggestions from
Oh, yeah, that's a great idea.
our quote unquote
Do I
audience
just
in the room?
do this?
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that could work.
Yeah.
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 And close my eyes?
Yeah.
Wait, someone tap me on the shoulder when you're done. Okay.
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 Okay, so we need
We need
one item.
especially something that's a little uncomfortable or hard to box, I think would be
Okay,
interesting.
something uncomfortable and hard to box. So, Stephen, what's something that is uncomfortable to ship and hard to box? What is something that's kind of like an uncomfortable item that is also hard to ship and hard to box?
Ooh, like a yes, that's what I was exactly. Thank you. We're on the same wavelength. Yes.
So the first item is
Cactus.
okay. So we need
Brian.
another
Brian
item.
is going to be returning
I'll
or
be
sending,
returning.
mailing this.
Yes.
And then one more item that is preferably alive, like an animal or
I feel like you guys are just talking and like leaving me to
We're
do
just
this.
having a conversation.
This is fun. Thanks.
fish.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All right, so Brian, you're first.
And we're good.
Hey, welcome back.
back.
Thank you. Commercial break.
Yes.
Good job.
Okay, so this is the game of post office. I don't know if we've
I
ever
will
played this
ring
game
the
before.
bell as you guess.
Okay, so you're saying words and things and phrases and describing something
Right.
that would
You are the postmaster at the post office.
And so
you
he's going to mail
welcome
an
us
item.
to the post office, and we are shipping these things, and you have to guess what these things are.
Okay.
And as soon as you do guess the thing, then we can move on to the next thing that you
Yes.
have to guess.
Correct.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay. All
Ready.
right.
Okay.
So here we go. This is
we go.
post office
Okay.
in 3, 2, 1. Hi. I was wondering if do you have like a lot of bubble wrap? Like a lot of bubble wrap.
Because something might break in this bubble wrap.
Well, the last time I tried to move this thing, my hands kind of started bleeding from getting poked so much.
So a porcupine, you're trying to
I mean,
bubble wrap a porcupine?
ish. Like if I could just bubble wrap it, if I could bubble wrap this thing so that I could, make sure that it's not gonna stab me whenever I put it in the box.
Like a cactus?
Yeah, exactly, like a cactus.
Oh, nice. Oh,
Very
just ship
good.
that
Very
off, that'd
good.
be
Very
great.
good. Very
More,
good.
more, more.
Yay. Okay.
Yay.
All right. All right. Let's try it again. Oh, hi, ma'am. Hi.
Yes.
I'm sending this to my my niece.
Okay.
She really, really wanted it, but I'm really kind of worried about keeping it not spilling. I don't want it to spill out, and also it needs to have some oxygen because it could die. Everything needs to breathe, right? But it needs to be dry on the outside. The water needs to stay inside.
Like a snow globe?
It's got this. I don't know whether to put the box on, like a lid on top of it, or maybe a seal on top of it, because it's an open hole. It's an open hole that it could just splash out, and then I'm afraid that the little thing will just,
A fishbowl?
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Very good. You're good at this.
Oh, this is
You're
fun.
good at this.
Should we? Well, actually, we're out of time. I was just looking at the clock.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're running a little over. Well, Kim, thanks so much for coming on the show again.
Hey, thank
Welcome
you
to the new and improved.
for having me. Thank you.
So one more time, where can we find Rodeo Cinema?
RodeoCinema.org. I don't know why.
I like it.
ASMR
No, this is how we go.
address.
Yeah, we need that. Well, I'm eating popcorn,
Cinema.
so that's probably the opposite of ASMR. But
Yes.
you know.
So
Or it might be exactly what ASMR has become nowadays.
it is.
RodeoCinema.org.
So yeah, go to our website for all the information about showtimes, what films are coming up. But we are located in the old Stockyard City on Exchange Avenue. So if you know where Cattleman's is or Langston's, you have no excuse not to just cross the street and come to the movie theater.
So cool.
It's great.
That's awesome. And of course, as always, you can go to okieshow.com to look at all the crazy cool stuff that we have going on. Visit us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Or if you like what we're doing and you'd like to be a part of it yourself, go over to patreon.com/okieshow and become a patron today. And that's
then
it.
You get all the super secret special podcasts that
Super
Brian has been
podcast
doing,
stuff.
and
You even get
in on
episodes
that.
a full 5 days before they actually get released to the full public. So
Yeah, that's fancy and
you
worth
should
it.
check that out.
Nice.
But that's it. We will see you guys in the next 2 weeks. Bye.
Okie Show.